welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So you already saw my two videos about my favorite vanilla fragrances. And I decided to make it into a series where I talk about my favorite types of fragrances that are suitable for fall and winter. So today is going to be another one in this series, and after this one there will be at least two more. I hope you enjoyed this series. And today we're going to talk about fruity floral fragrances. And when I think about those types of fragrances, I typically think about spring and summer. But I think that there are a lot of fruity floral fragrances that are suitable for colder weather. And these are the types of fragrances that I want to share with you today. I've chosen 10 from my collection that I think will be perfect for colder weather. The first one that I have is from Lancome, and this is Idole. And this fragrance, of course, has pear, rose, musk, vanilla. I think might be jasmine in here as well. And to me, this is kind of a musky, sweet pear with some rose, but rose is not very prominent. It is more in the background. I know that for some of you it's the opposite. You smell rose more than anything else, but for me this fragrance is more about a sweet pear. Although this fragrance can be worn any time of the year, I think because there's quite a lot of sweetness in it and it's not very light, I think that fall and winter would be most suitable times to wear it. Second one is from Guerlain, and this is of course Mon Guerlain. This is a fragrance that's all about lavender, and there's also vanilla, tonka, sandalwood. There are some other floral notes, but to me all I can smell is very sweet lavender. So vanilla and lavender, it is very comforting. I think it's perfect for colder weather, and I really enjoy wearing it during fall and winter. Next one is a fragrance that I've mentioned several times on my channel. This is Tenue de Soiree from Anik Gutow. And although two of the most prominent notes in here are caramel and patchouli, there are definitely other notes that play a role in this scent. So you have blackberry, rose, jasmine, iris. So it's the addition of these notes that I think tone down the sweetness and the sweetness of the caramel and the earthiness from patchouli, and make this fragrance more rounded. So I think this is a beautiful fruity floral that's perfect for colder weather. Next one is from Jimmy Choo, and this is called Exotic. And I know they've had several versions of this exotic fragrance. There's one that's turquoise and there's one that's orange, and they were just released in different years. And I cannot remember what year this one was released in, but this fragrance, of course, has the famous patchouli from Jimmy Choo, but it is really about raspberry, at least to me. Although raspberry is not the only fruity note in here. There's also, I believe, blackberry, and there are some floral notes. And like I said, although these other notes are here, to me, this is all about raspberry with patchouli. It is very sweet and kind of juicy, and this is one of my favorite fragrances to wear at home on a cold night. I find it very cozy and very comforting, and also kind of very juicy and sweet. So Jimmy Choo Exotic is definitely one of my favorites. Next one is a newer addition to my collection, and this is from Viktor and Rolf, and this is called Dancing Roses. And this is a very interesting fragrance in my opinion. It definitely has rose, as the name would suggest. It also has sour cherry, it has brandy, It also has pink pepper, lychee, saffron, and you get this really interesting rose that's sour, from sour cherry, of course, and you definitely get kind of a boozy element from brandy, and it's just a very interesting, slightly sweet but not too sweet rose that's very boozy and has some fruitiness added to it. And so very, very interesting fragrance. I think kind of different compared to others that I have in my collection, and I haven't had a lot of chances to really experiment and wear this and get to know this fragrance, but I'm definitely looking forward to wearing it a lot more during the fall and winter. Next one is from Van Cleef and Arpels, and this is their Extraordinary line, and this is called Rose Rouge. Again, it's a fragrance that I've mentioned several times, and this has rose and patchouli, which are two very strong notes, but there is also raspberry and blackberry and vanilla. So vanilla adds the sweetness, but raspberry and blackberry really add a nice element of fruitiness to this. So it's a sweet, fruity rose, not really jammy. It's not light, but it's not very heavy either. I would say somewhere in the middle. And so I think early fall is actually perfect time to wear this fragrance. My only gripe with this one, which I think I mentioned before, is that the lasting power is not great. I wish it was better. Outside of the lasting power, this is a stunning, stunning fragrance. Next one is from Nishane, and this is 100 Silent Ways. And although I already mentioned this fragrance in my favorite vanilla scents, but there is of course vanilla, and it's a big player in this fragrance, but there are also white florals that make this fragrance very interesting. There is jasmine, there is gardenia, and there's tuberose, and typically I am not a fan of heavy white florals, especially gardenia and tuberose, but they're done so beautifully and blended so beautifully and combined with vanilla so beautifully that they create this amazingly beautiful scent. And I think it's those white florals that make this vanilla very special and very interesting and very different from other fragrances. So that's why I included it on this list. Next one is from Jean-Paul Gaultier, and this is Scandal à Paris. And this is a pretty simple fragrance. It has pear, honey, and jasmine, and that's exactly what it smells like. You have this very sweet honeyed pear, and there's definitely jasmine coming through, but it's very nice type of jasmine. It's not very heady, and it's just a beautiful sweet fragrance. Again, I don't think it's light enough to wear in the summer, although it is definitely lighter than the original Scandal, but still I think it's a bit too heavy, too sweet, and that's why I think it's a perfect fruity floral that will be wonderful during the fall and winter time. Next one is from Carolina Herrera, and this is Good Girl. And there are a ton of notes in this fragrance. Mostly there are white florals, tonka, praline, sandalwood. There's some citruses, patchouli, and woody notes. And to me, it is mostly floral notes with some sweetness and a bit of nuttiness from praline and from tonka. This is kind of deep. This is slightly dark. This is slightly heavy, although it doesn't give me a headache, but it is definitely a richer, heavier type of scent. And that's why I think this is really not suitable for hot weather. This is more a colder weather fragrance, and I think this is more of an evening type of fragrance. So Carolina Herrera Good Girl is a really beautiful floral fragrance suitable for fall and winter. And the last one on my list is from Mugler, and this is Angel Muse EDT. And of course, the most prominent note in here is passion fruit. There's of course chocolate, caramel, patchouli, citruses, but mostly you get this really sweet patchouli, but a lot of the sweetness is coming from passion fruit. So it's a very fruity, sweet type of scent. And although I think this could be worn in the summer, but to me, I think I will be using this one a lot more in the fall. Yeah, this is a very, very beautiful, sweet passion fruit type of scent. So there you go. That was the last fragrance on my list. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and definitely let me know, are there any fruity floral fragrances that you plan to wear this fall and winter? Again, thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.